A lot of people are asking, is Jameson Williams a bust? But I think that's the wrong question. I think the question should be, how patient can we be?
Jameson, how you doing, man? It's Brad Holmes, GM of the Detroit Lions. Hey, man, you ready to be a Lion? All right, man, let me get you on the phone with our head coach, Dan Campbell.
J-Dub, congratulations, man. Let me tell you something. You know why we love you? Because you're a football player. We love football players.
With the 12th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jameson Williams, wide receiver.
Now, Jameson Williams was drafted number 12 in the 2022 draft, alongside Aiden Hutchinson. And this was a draft of wide receivers. Wide receivers such as Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, and George Pickens. And when you're in that company, people are going to expect results. So Jameson Williams started his first 2 years at Ohio State. His junior year, he transferred to Alabama, and that's where we saw his impact. He finished the 2021 season with Alabama with 79 receptions for 1,572 yards and 15 touchdowns, and was named an All-American. At Alabama, he showed off his electrifying 4.2 speed. But again, that 2022 draft had so many good receivers, and they've all proven to be game changers. So why has JMO not? At Alabama, he made it to the national championship against Georgia, which was a rematch. Really good game. However, JMO tore his ACL. Due to that, he was placed on the reserve non-football injury list to start his first NFL season. And we all knew that we weren't going to get much production out of him his first NFL season. We knew that. We knew that it was going to be a long recovery for him. In his first season with the Lions, he was activated on December 3rd against the Jaguars, where he was targeted once, and that was an incomplete pass. But he did show what he was capable of against the Vikings in Week 14. His first career reception with the Lions was a 41-yard touchdown. And another example where he showed off what he was capable of was against the Chicago Bears in Week 17, where he had a 40-yard run on a jet sweep. Now, I really hope to get him back into the offense. They do more jet sweeps like this because he's so fast. Now, it seemed like he was starting to get acclimated with the Detroit Lions, but then this happens.
4 Detroit Lions players, including former first-round pick Jameson Williams, have been suspended for violating the NFL's gambling policy.
Jameson Williams was one of 4 players suspended for violating the NFL gambling policy. And he was suspended for 6 games. Was that unfair? Maybe. However, the ban was lifted on October 3rd of this year after the NFL reviewed their policies. And so Jameson Williams was able to return after 4 games of being suspended. And his first game back was against the Carolina Panthers last Sunday. He had 2 catches for 2 yards. He had 1 drop pass, which was very disappointing. He did have a good block for David Montgomery, which resulted in a rushing touchdown. And he did have that speed that did seem to take the safeties out of the middle of the field. So I do think that he does indirectly affect the defense and does allow other receivers to get open. And I was at that game, and I heard people around me calling him a bust, calling him a bum. And I thought that was a little unfair. So I don't think we should be asking if he is a bust or not. Not yet. I think we need to examine the virtue of patience. So what is patience? Patience is your ability to wait without becoming annoyed upset, or angry. It's when you exercise self-control rather than lashing out and complaining. Now, this video might go beyond football. However, I think it applies here with Jameson Williams. Impatient people experience fewer negative emotions as impatient people.
But the key for the power is patience. You need patience for things to grow, for wealth, for power, for influence. Nothing comes fast. You need patience for reacting to the struggles of life. Things will go wrong. People will make you angry. You need patience with them and yourself. If you don't have patience, you will often decide too fast and too stupid.
In fact, being impatient causes stress, it causes anxiety, it causes a lot of negative emotional baggage. And in my video about Dan Campbell being a good leader does require patience, and I laid that out in that video. How his patience and tenacity has led to the Lions being this dominant right now. And in this society, we have instant gratification, especially with smartphones and technology. Anything that we want, we can normally get pretty quickly. And I think that's led to an impatient society.
Whoa! That was pass interference! That's it. Season's over.
Our program's cursed. See?
I can't watch this. Every year I fall for the preseason hype.
I made all this for nothing!
I'm never watching football again.
Hey guys, that was the first play of the game.
Maybe we overreacted.
We want to see results right away. But as Lions fans, I think that we should understand patience more than anyone else. I mean, how long has it been since the Lions have been any good? How long has it been since the Lions have created any noise? And how patient have we been with Dan Campbell? His first season with the Lions was not that great. He started off last season 1-6, but the Lions decided to stick with him. And that patience actually paid off. We're actually starting to see the benefits of his vision. And even with Jared Goff, when he came to Detroit, I know a lot of people were unhappy about that. And we all thought that he was just going to be a placeholder for a better quarterback. But due to our patience and due to the team's patience, they were able to build Goff as the top-tier quarterback that he is now. Now, I understand that this is football, and wins matter, and production matters, especially when someone's drafted in the first round at number 12, like Jameson Williams. We expect results pretty quickly, especially after seeing Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, George Pickens, Drake London. Those guys are balling out. They have proven to be game changers. And I have no doubt that the Lions are hungry, but I also have no doubt that they're patient. They have been patient ever since Dan Campbell arrived, and we're starting to see that pay off. I also have no doubt that Ben Johnson will figure out a way to utilize Jameson Williams when it counts the most. So in closing, is Jameson Williams a bust? I don't know. I don't think any of us do. Dan Campbell said that he hasn't really been able to practice.
But I go back to this. He, you know, and it's not an excuse, but he hasn't practiced. I mean, he didn't practice last year. He came in during the year, and we kind of had a couple plays for him here and there, but it's not like this is his first significant time to get, you know, and then he was hurt last week, you know, kind of. So, man, the longer we can keep him on the field and just keep working through these things, he'll get better. But I would say that's the answer.
He was injured for most of last season and then suspended for 4 games. He's only really been healthy for 1 game. And sure, he had that drop and he had 2 catches for 2 yards. I understand that. Our expectations are very, very high for this guy. I completely understand that. But let's put our faith in Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn and just the whole Detroit Lions camp in general. Dan Campbell seems to have a lot of faith in Jameson Williams, and I think we just need to give it a little bit more time. Let's have a little bit more patience. So that's it. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment, leave a like. I'm really curious, is Jameson Williams a bust or not? I'm rooting for the guy. I just think he needs to get a little bit more time to be acclimated into the offense. And trust me, I really do think that Ben Johnson is going to utilize him when it really counts the most. And I have total trust in Dan Campbell and that offense to really get Jameson Williams involved. And I'm excited to see it. Alrighty, go Lions. Cheers.